Guys, is this your first trip this year? Are you starting to get into backpacking and you're trying to figure out what to do? It's become intimidating and you want it to be easy and you want to enjoy it, but you're not sure all the best tips to take. Today, I'm going to mention some of my tips. This is definitely not a fix-all video, but I feel like these are some tips that have worked for me, could make your trip a lot easier, and I hope you enjoy them. Guys, this is Southern Hike. I'm Taylor, and today we're talking about how to make your first backpacking trip easy. So it's spring. Well, spring is here in Georgia, but I know other places spring is not far out, and everybody's getting ready for some summer trips. And basically, if you're new to backpacking, you're trying to figure out what exactly you need, how to prepare for it, and what to look out for, and what's the best way to enjoy your first trip. Let me just be honest. Usually your first trip, you have some trials and you figure things out. Sometimes they go really good, sometimes they go really bad, but it's always important to enjoy it and being out there, and it's just a great time, and you can really make it a great time if you're prepared. So guys, let me say one of the first things to do is make yourself a list. Even if you're very early in this, haven't even bought any gear, start listing out the things you're going to need for this trip, and that way you can keep up with them. One of the ways I've always done it is I keep in my notes on my phone a list, a checklist of everything for every trip. That way I can go ahead and start preparing ahead of time. I'll adjust this list, eliminate things, add things. If I'm going in the winter, I'll add more gear. If I'm going into bear country, I'll make sure I put my bear vault on there or my bear bag, and then that way I'm prepared for every scenario. If I'm filming, I have all my filming equipment on there listed too, and that way if I don't need it, it's still on there, but I can just kind of skip that section. I'll add on to this video how mine looks. It changes all the time, so definitely don't want to copy it, but it's just an ongoing list. It helps me out so much because the day before or the morning of a trip, I go through that list one last time and make sure I got everything together. Second thing is, don't be intimidated by the gear. I'm telling you, everybody gets freaking out when they start pricing their gear kits together and like, holy crap, this is a lot of money to spend to be able to get into backpacking. Let me just say this, I'd suggest being careful with Walmart and Amazon, but there's a lot of affordable options out there. REI has a lot of great gear, not to be sponsored by them, just saying like they were where I started, and some of their gear works well, it's more affordable, and there's a lot of brands out there, even some cottage vendors that have some good gear that's at affordable prices. Don't let it intimidate you. Start early, gather things as you need them, watch YouTube, but be careful. Sometimes YouTube can say that this is what you gotta have. No, you don't. You just need to find the gear that works well for you. And I'm gonna tell you, after your first trip, you're probably gonna say, okay, these things work, but these things don't. So remember that. That's important to know, and it's just a part of the experience. And I'm just a gear nerd. I love buying new gear, love trying it out, love sharing it with y'all. But honestly, some people find the things that work for them, and that's it. Until something breaks, they're ready to go for every trip. So don't be intimidated by the gear. Third thing, don't bring the entire pantry for food. Just bring the things you need. Find what calories based on how many miles, how much incline you're doing that day, how many calories you're gonna need, and stick to that. Don't over bring food. I know everybody wants to do that and then regret it. You come home with so much food you never ate and be like, wow, I could have saved a couple pounds by not bringing this stuff. Guys, I'm telling you, it's rare that you overextend that amount. You might want to always keep an extra couple snacks, maybe an extra meal, but don't push more than that. Make sure you just got enough and plan it out for each day, however long your trip's gonna be. Carry the food you need. Honestly, I strongly suggest using dehydrated. I know some people are nervous about it, but dehydrated foods have gotten a lot better in the last couple of years. Stuff like Peak Refuel, even Mountain House has gotten better, but don't be intimidated by dehydrated food. It will work too, I promise, and there's some really good meals out there now. All right, guys, this is, I guess, tip number 4. Don't bring a outfit for every day. Now, everybody's gonna be different, but I'm telling you, if you just bring clothing you're gonna need for each day, or as far as just one outfit, as far as a bottom layer or a base layer, a mid layer, and then an outer based on what time of year it is, bring that, and then maybe a couple sets of underclothes. Like I always bring underwear and socks, and then if it's cold, I make sure I use something like Smart Wool and some long johns, and I keep those in a bag in my pack. But I don't bring a different outfit for every day. It becomes very heavy. Honestly, the times I used to do it, I would never change into them. I just use the same outfit because it worked, and I was ready to go. And it was, yes, you're gonna stink. You just gotta accept that. That's just part of it. But just embrace the stink, like a lot of people say, and you'll be fine, I promise. Don't bring your entire closet. All right, guys, another tip. Don't push too many miles. Based on what type of shape you're in, find what works for you and stick to it. Something me and Rachel do a lot is we condition. Depending on how many miles we're gonna be doing soon, We will condition a weekend before and push those same miles on a day hike we do with our local trail like the Pine Mountain Trail. Just get the miles in we need, and that way it conditions us, and it has made our trips so much better. Matter of fact, we actually just did a through hike here at the local trail. It was 23 miles over 2 days. We did not condition, and I was reminded why I always do condition. And that second day was definitely rougher because I didn't. I did 13 miles that first day and hadn't done a 13-mile day in months. And yeah, I felt it the next day, and we still had 10 more miles to do. Last thing, don't worry about the weight so much. There's tons of great ultralight gear, but you do not have to buy ultralight or right off the top. I'm not an ultralight hiker. I will tag this video above. I love some ultralight gear, but I am not an ultralight hiker. I love my luxury items. So don't stress about weight so much in the beginning. Now don't go out there, weighing 50 pounds. You're gonna regret that, and you might not never go again. But try to stay, this is just me personally, don't take this as the best way, but between 20 and 30 pounds. I wouldn't push it more than that. If you can get to the in between that weight, you're doing really good, and that's as a base weight. Well, honestly, probably 20, 30 pounds with your food and water. But base weight, if you're doing around 20 pounds, that's great. Honestly, I'm still at 17 to 18 pounds base weight right now, and I feel great out there, Some people push like sub 10 pounds, which is crazy to me. But don't focus so much on weight. Don't be crazy, don't carry too much, but don't be so concerned with weight. Guys, I hope these tips were helpful. Make sure to like this video if they were. Make sure to comment if you got any questions, or if you've got suggestions as part of the community if you're watching this video. Greatly appreciated as we try to share this to all the new hikers in 2021. But we're just so happy to be that it's finally backpacking season for a lot of people, and I'm excited about it. Got a few trips planned, and really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Make sure to hit the notification bell. We do a video every Tuesday night, and just hope this video is helpful for you. Guys, thank you for being here, and we will see you next week.